Little apple turnover. That's what I'm making today. Okay, I'm going to make the apple filling for our little apple pies. I had 2 apples that were just about going bad. So I peeled them and I chopped them up. I had them in the refrigerator overnight and let water with a little lemon in it to keep them from turning brown. And this is how I make it. I'm cutting these raisins up so that they don't swell up. Then all their goodness comes out into the apples. Anybody with small children, if your child eats raisins whole, they'll reconstitute in their body and come out little grapes. Oh, who needed to share that? Nobody. Just remembering. Okay. You never know what I'm going to say, right? Just shut your mouth and keep cooking. Alright. Now what I have done, I put golden raisins because, I don't know, they're a little less sulfurous than the brown ones. In here, this is my little grinder. I usually grind coffee beans in here. But you can grind nuts too, so I have some walnuts that I've ground up. I could have put whole walnut pieces. It's just that people that either want to disguise the fact that there's nuts in there, or might have dentures or have trouble chewing nut pieces, this will be handy. Now I need a spoon, which I forgot to get. Alright, now we're moving on here. Okay. Into this, and I keep my sugars and flours in airtight containers to keep critters out, moths, ants, and everything. I'm putting in about half a tablespoon of sugar. It's to your taste, whatever. Then comes 2 ingredients that I like: cinnamon. I'd say about half a teaspoon. This isn't very much. This is only 2 apples. And nutmeg. Nutmeg's always a wonderful spice. It has healing properties too. I put about 1/4 of a teaspoon, maybe an eighth of a teaspoon, because it goes a long way. And I stir this up. I'm going to put it in a pan and partially cook it so they soften up. Now, I'm going to put it on the heat, and there should be a little bit of moisture left in the apples. If not, you can add a little water. I probably will add water. Half a tablespoon of butter. Yeah, I think I will add some water because to make you want to call it, the gloop, the sauce, the gloopy sauce around it, with a little bit of cornstarch and water. I'll put a little of the cornstarch in there now. I think that's good enough. And a little bit of water, maybe not all of that, and about half of that. I have it on medium high to get it to start. When you make your fruit, you can do this with strawberries or blueberries or whatever. You have a little water, a little cornstarch, and some sugar, and it makes kind of a gloop around the fruit. Now see, this is not translucent. You can't see through it, but that's part of cornstarch. It will turn translucent. Now, I may have to put a little more water in here if it starts to become too thick. Matter of fact, I think I'll use the rest of that. It'll thicken up. And this will cook, I'm not sure, maybe 10 minutes. And I'll stir it occasionally. And then we'll, in 10 minutes, I'll show you. I've turned it down to medium-low. See, this is becoming translucent. It gets that shine. And when it's cooked, if there's too much goo, this stuff, you don't have to put that in your pastry. But it helps to cook the apples down a little bit. Okay, it's been close to 10 minutes. I turned the heat off and I'm removing it from the heat. It stays hot there. So it's going to cool down while I make the pastry part. While the filling is cooling down, I am making a pie crust from a Betty Crocker cookbook that I've had since I was learning to cook at my grandma's house when I was 13, so that's been a long time ago. For a 1 9 or 10 inch double crust pie, this is the suggested recipe, and if you have extra, then you can roll it out flat, sprinkle a little, just brush it with butter and put cinnamon and sugar on it and have like little crispy snacks. So here we have 2 cups of sifted all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon salt, 2/3 cup of shortening. I have vegetable shortening and a little butter in there, and 5 to 7 tablespoons of cold water, which is what I have here. Okay, let's get moving. Well, let's see how much of a mess we can make today, huh? I'll start to mix this, and then I'll add water till it makes a nice thick dough. Now, I add a little flour so I can handle it. I don't want to overwork it because then the dough will become very tough. It works the gluten in the flour. So this will be kind of crumbly. But what I will do, oh, there's a piece of butter that hasn't been worked in yet. Well, we'll work it in a little. Just you do something like this, and then a little flour. Fold it over. Just a tiny bit of flour, dusting. Fold it over. Tiny bit of dusting. Fold it over. We'll make it flaky. Crusty. Old Krusty. How you doing, old Krusty? I'm okay. See, it's going to be flaky. I'm going to be making turnovers, or little pies. So I will divide this into pieces and show you how to make a little pie. I'm going to let it rest for a few minutes. And then when the filling one was cool. I'll show you how to make little turnovers. I divided the dough into six pieces. And I generously floured my rolling pin and lightly floured the counter and the top of this. I'm gently rolling it out, and you can make it like that and see what happens. It may not work, but that's what cooking in the kitchen is. A lot of trial and error, a lot of experimentation, and a lot of happy accidents that you can eat. Okay. Trying to make kind of a circle, maybe an oval, because I am going to be folding it on itself. And you're saying, what does that mean? You'll see. Okay. That looks pretty ugly, doesn't it? Yes, it does. It looks pretty ugly. Alright, now what we're going to do, and yeah, I'm not using all the gloopy sauce, mostly the apples, and I know it doesn't look very good, but it tastes good, and that's kind of what matters when you're eating, right? I mean, looking good helps too. And a little bit of butter, or water, you can use water. Fold it over, and you pinch it. This is how you make calzones too. When you make pizza or calzones, the pizza dough, you fold it over. I know it doesn't look, oops, bloopy. It doesn't look like much, does it? No, it doesn't. You put it on the baking sheet. Now I have a piece of this parchment paper on here because my little toaster oven, my oven doesn't work. So I have a toaster oven, and this parchment helps it keep it from burning. It doesn't always work, but it helps. And then you'll brush the top with butter. Sprinkle a little cinnamon and sugar on it. And when I get them all on a pan, then they'll be ready to put in my little toaster oven. Okay, they're ready to go in the oven. Another thing I did was put a little puncture on the top. Otherwise they might pop up and not want to ooze out everywhere. This way they'll bubble up through the top a little bit. And I did not use all the goo. I still have it. You can put that over ice cream or into milk and make yourself some kind of a shake if you want. Or whatever. Into the oven they go. 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 Celsius, I think. And I'm going to guess 10-15 minutes. We'll see. Okay, finished product. Got a little brown on the bottom, but that's okay. It is a bit flaky. Let's try it, shall we? Now this can be made into a whole pie, but I made these little half moon shaped turnover things. It is very crumbly. I haven't gotten to the filling yet. Not bad. Not bad. It's edible.